Hi there. Today we're going to create a small server on the Raspberry Pi. Server going to be called LDS Linux Download System. I've called it that myself. Of course, you can call it in any other name you want. The server going to allow us to organize, download, synchronize. Of course, system gonna use your local drive, but of course, if you want, you can point it into SMB share or just attach the small USB drive to the Raspberry Pi to give it a little bit more space to work on. Of course, the card that I have, it's 32 gigs, but I'm not planning to use it for downloading anything there locally. So there is a website that I created. Of course, this is still under construction, but at the very bottom of that page, which I'm going to put the link into the video, is a script that will fully automate all the deployment. So the reason for that video is just to show you how you can do that yourself and what you're going to get at the very end of it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and create such a server. So what you're gonna need is Raspberry Pi, of course, micro SD card, and Raspbian system. So I already downloaded Raspbian and I already have the SD card in here. So what are we gonna do? We're just gonna format that SD card. There we go. And we're gonna load the Raspbian into it. I'll use Rufus, pretty good tool. So of course, if we select the SD card, we click on this small icon here. We have to just select all the files and the Raspbian images in here. So, and we're gonna start. Of course, we can lose everything what's on it, but we don't really care. And it does it. It starts. So I'm probably gonna speed up the video here to the finish of that. So let's wait a moment. Okay, and we done. So I'm gonna close Rufus, and before we're gonna get the SD card into Raspberry Pi, we have to do one small little thing. So we're gonna go to SD card itself, and we're gonna create a small file here. Just gonna select the text file, but we don't want any extension on it, and only what we need is a name, which is gonna be SSH. That's gonna allow Raspbian to enable SSH on the first boot. Of course, that file can be removed after that. But that will allow me to not connect to Raspberry Pi to monitor or anything like that. I'm going to take the SD card, I'm going to plug in into Raspberry Pi and start it on. Then I'm going to find out what the IP address is of the Raspberry Pi from my router, and then going to simply just use PuTTY to SSH into it. So that's all in here. Now I'm just going to go and put the SD card into Raspberry Pi. SD card is in the Raspberry Pi, and hopefully Raspberry is booting right now. So I'm just going to open a PuTTY. I found out what the IP address is of the Pi, so it's saved in here. I'm just going to open terminal. The usual stuff is asking you to agree for a certificate. So I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger so you can see better what I'm doing. So change settings, application. So let's go for a 14 and bold. Okay on that. Okay on that. Ooh, that's now is quite a huge window. So let's make this to some sort of normal size. Okay, so it looks like we are connected to the Raspberry Pi. So the user is just Pi and the password is Raspberry. And we are logged into the home folder. So currently we don't have anything in the home folder. So we're going to create a bash file in here. So sudo nano and let's say script.sh, and we are in nano. So then I'm going to go back to my website here, just scroll down to the script itself, and then I'm just going to select all of it to the last letter here, and I'm just gonna copy, go back to SSH, and I'm gonna right click on my mouse, wait a few seconds. Usually takes some small short time to actually copy text into it. Okay, it seems like we are done here. So now I'm just gonna click on Control O to write and Control X to escape. I'm just gonna minimize the background here, maximize that. So I hope you can see all of it. Now we have the file in here in the home folder. We have to change permissions for the file. So sudo mode 755, let's say, for a script file. Enter that. So let's check. Yeah, permission changed. So now we can execute it. So simply just /script and enter. Script gonna update Raspbian. I'm gonna download all the necessary components and install them. It's gonna create services and start them as well. Script is saying here that it's gonna take about 30 to 40 minutes. Of course, that depends from your SD card speed and internet speed and any sorts of things. But I'm gonna let it run, and possibly I'm gonna speed this up because we're not gonna watch for 30 minutes just uploading and downloading packages. So I'm gonna speed this up and gonna go back to you when we are at the very end of the script. So hopefully everything gonna go smoothly without any errors. So let's have a look. Okay, it seems like script finish on whatever was happening. For me, it took 20 minutes to complete, so it's quite a time. So script is basically saying to shut down and restart your Raspberry Pi, and then do the upgrade. Not going to do that right now, so I'm just going to copy this, minimize that. Let's just put Notepad. Just don't remember all the ports here, so just gonna make this aside, and then we're gonna open a browser. So let's go, and 192 168.15 is the Raspberry Pi that we were doing all of that to. So first of all, let's have a look. Sonarr. And it look like this is working. So 192 again and 15, and then Radarr. So it's another tool, and this is starting. They are two very similar, but they are for a different purpose. So then we're gonna go back to the same IP address, and then we're gonna have a look if we do have, for example, Deluge. And the default password is Deluge or Deluge. Okay, So currently the service is offline, so we're gonna start the daemon. Oh, he's gonna start. And there we go, it's online, and we're gonna connect. We're not gonna change anything in here, so that's basically a torrent client that we're gonna use. And the last, the crucial thing is Jackett. What is the port for it? So I'm not sure. So Jackett port is 9117. So 9117. Okay, so we have all four components installed. So I'm not gonna explain, how to configure that in this video. Probably I'm gonna take another one to make this kind of approachable. But basically, what the Jackett is an application that allows you to use default torrent sites. So, for example, they called indexers here. For the moment, we don't have any. So we can just simply add an indexer. Most of them are locked and private. Some of them are semi-private, some of them are public. So let's say we're going to use that one. Just going to add it. It doesn't ask for any username and password because it's a public one. Then in order for this to work, or in order for Sonarr or Radarr to work, we need to kind of connect both together. Sonarr to Jackett, Radarr to Jackett, and then these two gonna send files to Deluge as a torrent client to download it. When it's downloaded, they're just gonna move these files, rename them as you like to the specific folders. All of that is in the configuration. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna simply configure Sonarr just to show you what it is. So for the moment, this is just complaining. So we do not have any download client. We don't have any RSS feed or any indexers. So we're just gonna go here to settings and then to indexers. And we're gonna add one of the indexers. We're gonna use torrents and ZB custom. We're gonna name it. So let's name it test. URL, we have to just copy URL from here. So copy the feed and just go back here, and we're gonna put URL here, and then once again, and we're gonna copy API hash or whatever is that, okay, and we're gonna paste it in here, and then we're gonna test it. So if all is good, we should see in the right down corner, and testing is successful. And if that's the case, that means Sonarr is, yeah, there we go, testing, test succeed, so it's fine, we can save that. That means Sonarr is currently working with Jackett, and Jackett is providing torrent files for Sonarr that pushes into the Deluge torrent client. So that's the indexer. We have to add the download client here, so just going to add it there, and we're going to choose torrent Deluge. We're going to call it Deluge. We're not going to change anything here because by default it's everything installed in the same server. That should work. There is only one thing about that, but I'm going to show you. So this test is going to fail. So it's basically testing failing because we need the plugin to use the label. So we're just going to go to Deluge here, to the properties, plugins, and we're going to use a label. Install, that's it, apply, okay. I think we don't have to restart the service. So we're going to test again. And this time is successful. That's fine. So we can save it. Never. And now we have all these two things configured. They are mandatory for this to work. So now we're just gonna restart service. It's gonna take a couple of seconds, I guess. So in the meantime, while this is restarting, so basically you can add as many websites or torrent indexers as you like. If you don't see your own one that you usually use, that means the provider is not using API that is compatible with this application, so it's not going to be able to provide anything to this system. But anyway, there's plenty of them to choose from. I hope that's enough. Okay, so now let's have a look if this is back. So just gonna refresh. It's a Raspberry Pi, so it takes a while. So now we have this warning gone. There's no warnings, or health is okay. The same you will have to do for this. It's exactly the same thing. You can add exactly the same stuff that you added there. The only difference between these two is that Sonarr is for your serials, like periodically published every week, and this is more for movies. But of course, there's a plenty of tutorials how to use it, I'm pretty sure. So for now, just because this is configured, you can add your own already, your own files that you already have on disk. You can sort of tell this software to categorize them, put them, rename them, put them in the specific folder, and so on. I'm not going to spend the time to explaining this. If you're interested, I'm pretty sure you're going to find it how to do it. So this is fully configured right now. We can look for, I don't know, Family Guy. Oh, it's actually not in here. So add series and then Family Guy. It's going to start the search. Let's do it again, and there we go. So you can basically say, where to put it and when it's downloaded and so on. I'm not going to add it, but well, that's how it works. So when you add this thing and you're going to decide where the system is supposed to save the files when they're available, then of course you're going to have a calendar here that is going to tell you when the next episode is on, and the system will automatically download it when it's needed. There's activities, so if something is in progress being downloaded, then you're going to see in here. It's something what you want but is not released yet or is not available, whatever. So that's simply what it is. I hope you like it. If you have any questions, then just put in the comments on the video below. Just don't ask me why the website doesn't work as it's supposed to. There are comment sections that don't work, but well, I just don't have the time much. I don't have much time to actually get this finished properly. So for the moment, it's just this video. So I hope you like it. Thumbs up if you like it. Take care.